Hello students, let us see this problem. In this problem, a ball is projected horizontally from a height h above the center of this hemispherical dome, and the motion of this ball has to be such that this ball touches this hemispherical dome once and goes on and it strikes this horizontal surface here, right? So you have to determine the minimum speed of the ball with which it strikes the horizontal surface, and also for that particular condition of the minimum speed you have to determine what should be the value of h, right? So you can adjust this value of h and the velocity here that was given so that it reaches with the minimum speed, right? So just applying the conservation of mechanical energy, you can say that if the velocity of this ball after reaching the ground has to be minimum, that means the velocity, initial velocity that was given in the horizontal direction, that has also to be the minimum, right? And this minimum cannot be zero, right? Because if you give the zero velocity, it will just go down vertically downward. So it has to satisfy this condition that this ball will not strike at any angle, but this ball actually grazes through the surface of this hemispherical dome. So it just touches this hemispherical dome one time, right? So if you see here that there is a projectile motion going on and the path of this projectile is actually parabolic, right? So you have to enclose a sort of sphere or the circle inside a parabola, right? So let us see what is the path of this particle for which this condition actually occurs, right? So let me draw the path of this particle here. So this is here the path of this projectile, right? And this ball here, this tiny particle here, touches the hemisphere at this particular position. Let's say at this particular position, the angle made by this line joining with the horizontal is equal to theta, right? So this angle here is theta, right? So let's say the initial velocity here that was given to the ball in the horizontal direction is v. Once this ball reaches the horizontal, it will have two components of the velocity. One component will be along the horizontal direction, of course, and this horizontal component will be same as v because the horizontal velocity will not change. So this is v, and one component will be in the vertically downward direction, right? So let's assume that the vertically downward velocity is equal to vy, right? So this is equal to vy. Now let's imagine a situation here that if I've given a particle a velocity that has horizontal component v but not to the right but to the left direction, right? So let's say we have given a particle a velocity whose horizontal component is equal to v and that is towards the left, and vertical component is equal to vy that is in the upward direction, right? So this ball will retrace the path of the previous ball, right? So it will just go on similarly, and this point at this point here, its velocity will be v towards the left, right? So it is just replicating the path of the previous motion, right? So we can just analyze for the same situation here, right? So at this position when this ball was actually grazing, we can say that the path will be tangential to the tangent at this circular point, right? Tangent to this hemisphere. So at this particular moment when the ball is touching this sphere, right? So we can say the velocity of this ball will be tangential to the path, and that will also be the direction of tangent at this circle, right? So now let me draw an horizontal line here, right? So this is my horizontal line. From here we can say this angle should also be equal to theta, and this angle here will be 90 minus theta. At this particular instant the particle will have two components of velocity, one in the vertically upward direction and one along the horizontal direction towards the left. So horizontal velocity will not change, it will remain v, right? And vertical velocity, let's say at this particular position, is v dash. And the net velocity of the resultant of these two velocities will be tangent to this path, which is making angle 90 minus theta. This angle is 90 minus theta. Let me draw it a bit bigger here, right? So this is V dash. Towards the left, this is V, and the resultant of these two vectors are actually making angle 90 minus theta with the horizontal, right? So this angle here is 90 minus theta. From this triangle, we can say the height V dash by base will be equal to tan 90 minus theta. So we can write V dash equal to V times cot of theta, right? So this is our first equation. Now, if you just see here, this part of the projectile from this position to this position. At this position, since the velocity is only horizontal, we can assume the this position is actually the position of maximum height, because at the maximum height position, the velocity becomes horizontal, right? So from here to here, we can say this part that is given as small h will be the maximum height, right? So we can just use this part also as maximum height h will be equal to Vy square by 2g. So vertical component of the velocity square Vy square by 2g, that we can say, right? And also, if we just see the motion of this ball from this position to this position, also from this particular position when it was touching to this maximum height here, between this duration, during this time, what is happening is the initial velocity in vertical direction V dash, uh, in the vertically upward direction, it is that much. So from here to here, if we want to determine the time taken, that will be equal to V dash by G, right? So from the first equation in the vertical direction, we can write T will be equal to V dash by G. Also, during that particular time, from motion of this ball from here to here, the horizontal displacement is this much, right? And this displacement is nothing but this can be determined in this triangle here, right? So that will be equal to r cos theta, right? So we can write r cos theta will be equal to horizontal velocity. R cos theta will be equal to horizontal velocity multiplied by this time, right? So horizontal velocity V multiplied by this time V dash by G, and V dash can be written as V cot theta. So this will become V cot theta by G. And if we solve this, cot theta can be written as cos by sine. We'll get from here V square will be equal to Rg sine theta. Rg sine theta. Let me mark this as my equation number 1, right? So from equation number 1, we are determining this value here. Somehow I want to write the equation of this final velocity that will be resultant of this V and Vy, right? So I want to determine V and Vy in terms of only one variable, and that variable I'm trying to get it as in terms of theta, right? So V part is determined, right, in terms of theta. Now I should focus on getting the value of Vy in terms of theta, right? So here, if I, from the starting point to this point here, in the vertical direction, the final velocity is V dash, initial velocity is Vy. If I want to determine V dash in terms of Vy, I can use the third equation of motion, that is, or similarly, uh, conservation of mechanical energy will also yield me the same result. V dash will be equal to root of Vy square minus 2g into this height, right? So the height during that particular time is this much, and that will be equal to height of this right angle triangle, that is going to be r into sine theta. So 2g r sine theta, right? But still there is this Vy part that is left, right? So what can we do more? I think we have enough equation to solve for the velocity at the point of landing. The speed with which the ball will land will be u square if this is a u, then u square will be equal to v square plus vy square. So v square can be written as rg sine theta, right? So let me write the whole term here, v square plus vy square, right? And v square is basically rg sine theta, and the next term vy square can be determined using this equation, right? Let me call this my equation number 2. So vy square will be v dash square plus 2gr sine theta, right? And v dash can be determined in terms of v cot theta, right? So basically, let me write the first part as whole. So v dash square plus 2rg sine theta, right? And v dash square will be equal to v square cot square theta, v square cot square theta. So now we'll get u square as rg sine theta plus 2rg sine theta, that is 3rg sine theta, plus v dash square, that is v square cot square theta. V square we can write from here rg sine theta, so rg sine theta multiplied by cot square theta, right? So this term is cot square theta, and that can be written as cos square theta by sine square theta, right? So this is cot square cos square by sine square. So that term will become, so if I just keep on solving this, rg will be common here. So 3 sine theta plus cos square theta by sine theta, right? That term will become 3 sine square theta plus cos square theta by sine theta, and that will be equal to rg times, and 1 sine square plus cos square will make 1. So 2 by sine theta, that will become 2 by sine theta plus 1 by sine theta. Sorry, uh, right? So no, 2 by sine theta is incorrect to say, right? So the first term will become 3 sine square theta plus cos square, that will make as 2 sine square theta plus 1 by sine theta. So 2 sine square by sine will become 2 sine theta. So this is 2 sine theta plus 1 by sine theta plus 1 by sine theta, and that is what we wanted to achieve, right? So determining the value of u in terms of only one variable, because r and g, everything else is constant. So only theta term is variable here. So obviously we want to determine the minimum value of u. For that you can apply the conditions of maxima minima also, but I don't want you to solve that way, because if you just look at the function here, theta is of course between 0 to 90 degrees, so it is positive. For the positive number we can just apply this inequality, that am should be greater than gm, because if you just look at the term, multiplying that will give you a constant value. So am is this whole term divided by 2. So basically this whole term 2 sine theta plus 1 by sine theta, 1 by sine theta by 2 greater than equal to, so 2 we should multiply here, and gm will become root 2, right? So this whole term should be greater than or equal to 2 root 2. So of course the minimum value will be equal to, will be equal to gm only, and that also that happens when these two terms are actually equal. So we can determine the value of theta also, right? So for this particular position, when this am is actually equal to gm, these two terms, 2 sine theta should be equal to sine theta, and from here we can determine sine square theta will be 1 by 2. That means sine theta equal to 1 by root 2. That means theta should be equal to 45 degree, right? So we have determined the value of theta also, and we have determined the minimum value of u also. So u minimum will be equal to under root of this whole term, and here this whole term is nothing but equal to 2 root 2. So 2 root 2 rg into whole to the power 1 by 2. So that comes out to be 2 root 2 capital rg whole root 2, right? So in the initial question, the value of r was given, that is equal to 10 root 2. If we just substitute the value of r as 10 root 2 and g as 10, what we will get here as 2 root 2 into 10 root 2 into 10 root 2 into 10, right? So 10 root 2. So this whole term will become basically 2 into 2, 4 into 100, 400. So under root of 400 will nothing but is nothing but 20 meter per second. So the minimum speed here is 20 meter per second. That is our answer here. But that is one of the answer. You also have to determine the second answer, that is the value of h at this particular instant, right? So you can just use any of the inequality, right? You can determine the value of Vy from here. The value of Vy will be, or you can just simply determine instead of Vy, uh, uh, just from here to here, right? So V dash will be equal to V cot theta, right? So we have this value here as u, and we have also determined the value of theta, right? So the next part is only calculation here. Yes, if you just look at this equation here, h is equal to Vy square by 2g, and right, to determine the value of Vy, we can use this equation here. We know the value of u, that is 20, and if we just subtract the V square, that is equal to Rg sin theta. So we'll get the value of Vy square, right? So from here, Vy square will be equal to u square, that is 400, minus Rg into sin theta. So R is 10 root 2 into G is 10 into sin 45 is 1 by root 2. So what comes out here from here is 400 minus 100, that is 300, right? So 300 is Vy square, and the value of h is Vy square by 2g, that is 300 by 20, that comes out to be 15 meter. So the answer is, the second answer is 15 meter.